Hi guys, it's time for some more Bible stories. Today's stories are going to be under the category of life's trials. And first off, I found a short poem by Helen Steiner Rice that is called This Too Shall Pass. If I could endure for this minute whatever is happening to me, no matter how heavy my heart is or how dark the moment may be, if I can remain calm and quiet with all the world crashing about me, secure in the knowledge God loves me when everyone else seems to doubt me, if I can but keep on believing what I know in my heart to be true, that darkness will fade with the morning and that this will pass away too, then nothing in life can defeat me, for as long as the knowledge remains, I can suffer whatever is happening, for I know God will break all the chains that are binding me tight in the darkness and trying to fill me with fear, for there is no night without dawning, and I know that my morning is near. I'm going to give that poem a thumbs up. I thought that was a really cute poem. I really liked that one. Did you guys like that one? Let's see. Let's go back and see what the next story in the trial section will be. I think I'll try the one called Start Over. It's got a lot of thumbs up, so we'll see if we can give it a thumbs up. It looks like it's a poem too. Shape, yeah, I think it's a poem. Okay. It's called, get up there. It's called Start Over. When you've trusted Jesus and walked his way, when you felt his hand lead you day by day, but your steps now take you another way, start over. When you've made your plans and they've gone awry, when you've tried your best and there's no more try, when you've failed yourself and don't know why, start over. When you've told your friends what you plan to do, when you trusted them and they didn't come through, and now you're all alone and it's up to you, start over. When you've failed your kids and they're grown and gone, when you've done your best but it's turned out wrong, and now your grandchildren have come along, start over. When you've prayed to God so you'll know his will, when you've prayed and you don't know still, when you want to stop 'cause you've had your fill, start over. When you think you're finished and want to quit, when you've bottomed out in life's deepest pit, when you've tried and tried to get out of it, start over. When the year has been long and success is few, when December comes and you're feeling blue, God gives a January just for you, start over. Starting over means victories won. Starting over means a race well run. Starting over means the Lord's will be done. We need not just sit there. Start over. I think that's a good poem for not giving up. To try to keep going, which is very hard to do sometimes. I had a lot of drama on my Facebook page today with some of the family, but I didn't even respond to it. And I just blocked the ones who did it. And, you know, God knows me. He knows the truth. And that's all that matters to me. So, you know, what they think of me, it hurts my feelings. And I think, just like anybody else, I can put whatever I want on my Facebook page and say whatever I want. It's my page. And if you don't like it, then you can delete yourself, or I will delete you, because, I mean, you shouldn't tell people what, you know, complain about what they put on their page. It's not your page. You can put what you want on your page. And I wasn't even talking bad about nobody. I was just saying the truth of what somebody said about me, and that it hurt my feelings. And then, you know, they just made up all this drama. So, start over. Just going to start over and not even think about it. Just act like it didn't even happen. I took them off my page. So now hopefully my life will be much more peaceful without them trying to stir up trouble for me and my husband once again. Let's see, guys. Let's try Satan's garage sale. These are all in the Trials of Life section. Satan's garage sale. Once upon a time, Satan was having a garage sale. There, standing in little groups, were all of his bright, shiny trinkets. Here were tools that make it easy to tear things down for use as stepping stones. And over there were some lenses for magnifying one's own importance, which, if you look through them the other way, you could also use to belittle others, or even oneself. Against the wall was the usual assortment of gardening tools, guaranteed to help your pride grow by leaps and bounds. The rake of scorn, the shovel of jealousy for digging a pit for your neighbor, the tools of gossip, backstabbing, of selfishness and apathy. All of these were pleasing to the eye, and came complete with fabulous promises and guarantees of prosperity. Prices, of course, were steep, but not to worry. Free credit was extended to one and all. Take it home, use it. You won't have to pay until later, old Satan cried as he hawked his wares. The visitor, as he browsed, noticed two well-worn, nondescriptive tools standing in one corner, not being nearly as tempting as all the other items. He came in curious that these two tools had price tags higher than any other. When he asked why, Satan just laughed and said, "Well, that's because I use them so much. If they weren't so plain-looking, people might see them for what they are." Satan pointed to the two tools, saying, "You see, that one's doubt, and that one's discouragement, and those will work when nothing else will." I don't know, what'd you guys think of that story? I wasn't too impressed with it, really. I mean, I kind of like the humor ones the best. But I try to do a variety of different ones for you guys. Let's see if we can find another one. This one was only rated a 4. It only got 4 thumbs up, but It sounds interesting to me. A mouse, pig, cow, and a snake. I want to see what this is about. It's a little bit long, too. Okay. The mouse, the pig, the cow, and the snake. A mouse looked through a crack in the wall to see the farmer and his wife opening a package. What food might it contain? He was aghast to discover that it was a mouse trap. Retreating to the farmyard, the mouse proclaimed the warning. There is a mouse trap in the house. There is a mouse trap in the house. The chicken clucked and scratched, raised her head and said, Mr. Mouse, I can tell you this is a grave concern to you, but it is of no consequence to me. I cannot be bothered by it. The mouse turned to the pig and told him, There is a mouse trap in the house. I am so very sorry, Mr. Mouse, sympathized the pig, but there is nothing I can do about it but pray. Be assured that you are in my prayers. The mouse turned to the cow, who replied, Like, wow, Mr. Mouse, a mouse trap? Am I in grave danger? Duh. So the mouse returned to the house, head down and dejected, to face the farmer's mousetrap alone. That very night, a sound was heard throughout the house, like the sound of a mousetrap catching its prey. The farmer's wife rushed to see what was caught. In the darkness, she did not see that it was a venomous snake whose tail the trap had caught. The snake bit the farmer's wife. The farmer rushed her to the hospital. She returned home with a fever. Now everyone knows you treat a fever with fresh chicken soup. So the farmer took his hatchet to the farmyard for the soup's main ingredient. His wife's sickness continued, so that friends and neighbors came to sit with her around the clock. To feed them, the farmer butchered the pig. The farmer's wife did not get well. In fact, she died, and so many people came to her funeral, the farmer had the cow slaughtered to provide meat for all of them to eat. So the next time you hear that someone is facing a problem and think that it does not concern you, remember that when the least of us is threatened, we are all at risk. That's cute. I like that one. But I like that one, but sometimes, I don't truly agree with that story altogether, because a lot of times all we can do for somebody is pray for them when they need something, because we're not able to help them because we don't have a way or we don't have the money. So all we can do for them is pray. This one makes me think of my husband. My husband's health problem. It was rated a 5. 5 thumbs up out of 125. My husband's health problem. My husband is having a diagnostic test tomorrow. I'm an action-oriented person, and up until now, I have dealt with his health problems in an action-oriented way. Every problem has a solution, right? I attacked his health issues the same way I attack everything I desire to have done. Encouragement. Go to the doctor and see what he says. Insistence. when are you going to call the doctor? Demanding, if you don't call and get an appointment, I'll do it for you. Now the appointment has been made, the test is scheduled, and we must wait until it's over to see if there is, number 1, no problem, number 2, a minor problem, number 3, a major problem. At this point, all that can be done in regard to my husband's health is pray, and now is the time for that. So I guess that's the final action I can take. That's what I'll do right now. That's what I'll do tomorrow during his test. And when the test is over, whatever the result, God will be with us. And that is by an unknown author. And that's very true. I did a lot of praying too. Before and after. I'm sorry, guys. I was so worked up. I know I said I wasn't worried about what people put on my page, but of course you know how I am, so I got all worked up about it, and I had to take my anxiety medicine. I actually took double it because I was really, I just needed it. So I'm getting a little tired, I guess. Sorry. But, like I said, I'm going to try to forget about it, not think about it. But it's just very hard. I seen one I wanted to read, you guys, and now I can't. I lost it. It's what's taken so long with this is it takes so long to scroll up and down on this page because it keeps like freezing up every time you move the thing up to scroll up or down. So you have to wait like a minute for it to unstick. Where is... Okay, there's my husband's health problem we just read. And the other one, I think it might have been this one. Maybe a rich Easter. It's only got 4 thumbs up. It's got 1 less thumb up than the husband story. So we'll see what we think of this one, guys. Would we give it a thumb up or a thumb down? Let's see. A Rich Easter. The Rich Family in Our Church by Eddie Ogan. Oh, never forget Easter, 1946. I was 14, my little sister Osie, 12, and my older sister Darlene, 16. We lived at home with our mother, and the 4 of us knew what it was to do without many things. My dad had died 5 years before, leaving Mom with 7 kids to raise and no money. By 1946, my older sisters were married, and my brothers had left home. A month before Easter, the pastor of our church announced that the Easter Sunday offering would be taken to help the poor family. We asked everyone to save and give sacrificially. When we got home, we talked about what we could do. We decided to buy 50 pounds of potatoes and live on them for a month. This would allow us to save $20 of our grocery money for the offering. Then we thought that if we kept our electric lights turned out as much as possible, we didn't listen to the radio, we'd save some money on that month's electric bill. Darlene got as many house and yard cleaning jobs as possible, and both of us babysat for everyone we could. For 15 cents, we could buy enough cotton loops to make 3 pot holders to sell for $1. We make $20 on pot holders. That month was one of the best of our lives. Every day we counted the money to see how much we had saved. At night we sit in the dark and talk about how the poor family was going to enjoy having the money the church would give them. We had about 80 people in church, so we figured that whatever amount of money we had to give, the offering would surely be 20 times that much. After all, every Sunday the pastor had reminded everyone to save for the sacrificial offering. The day before Easter, O.C. and I walked to the grocery store and got the manager to give us 3 crisp $20 bills and one $10 bill for all our change. We ran all the way home to show Mom and Darlene we had never had so much money before. That night we were so excited we could hardly sleep. We didn't care that we wouldn't have new clothes for Easter. We had $70 for the sacrificial offering. We could hardly wait to get to church. On Sunday morning, rain was pouring. We didn't want an umbrella. We didn't own an umbrella, and the church was over a mile from our home, but it didn't seem to matter how wet we got. Darlene had cardboard in her shoes to fill the holes. The cardboard came apart and her feet got wet. But we sat in church proudly. I heard some teenagers talking about the Smith girls having on their old dresses. I looked at them in their new clothes, and I felt so rich. When the sacrificial offering was taken, we were sitting on the second row from the front. Mom put in the $10 bill, and each of us girls put in a 20. As we walked home after church, we sang all the way. At lunch, Mom had a surprise for us. She had bought a dozen eggs, and we had boiled Easter eggs with our fried potatoes. Late that afternoon, the minister drove up in his car. Mom went to the door, talked with him for a moment, and then came back with an envelope in her hand. We asked what it was, but she didn't say a word. She opened the envelope, and out fell a bunch of money. There were 3 crisp $20 bills, 1 $10, and 17 $1 bills. Mom put the money back in the envelope. We didn't talk, just sat and stared at the floor. We had gone from feeling like millionaires to feeling like poor white trash. We kids had had such a happy life that we felt sorry for anyone who didn't have our mom and dad for parents, and a house full of brothers and sisters and other kids visiting constantly. We thought it was fun to share silverware and see whether we got the fork or the spoon that night. We had 2 knives, which we passed around to whoever needed them. We knew we didn't have a lot of things that other people had, but I never thought we were poor. That Easter day, I found out we were. The minister had brought us the money from the poor family, so we must be poor. I didn't like being poor. I looked at my dress and torn out shoes and felt so ashamed that I didn't want to go back to church. Everyone there probably already knew we were poor. I thought about school. I was in the 9th grade and at the top of my class of over 100 students. I ordered if the kids at school knew we were poor. I decided I could quit school since I had finished the 8th grade. That was all the law required at the time. We sat in silence for a long time. Then it got dark and we went to bed. All that week we girls went to school and came home, and no one talked much. Finally on Saturday, Mom asked us what we wanted to do with the money. What did poor people do with money? We didn't know. We'd never known we were poor. We didn't want to go to church on Sunday, but Mom said we had to. Although it was a sunny day, we didn't talk on the way. Mom started to sing, but no one joined in, and she only sang one verse. At church, we had a missionary speak. He talked about how churches in Africa made buildings out of sun-dried bricks, but they needed money to buy roofs. He said $100 would put a roof on a church, the minister said. Can't we all sacrifice to help these poor people? We looked at each other and smiled for the first time in a week. Mom reached into her purse and pulled out the envelope. She passed it to Darlene. Darlene gave it to me, and I handed it to Osie. Osie put it in the offering. When the offering was counted, the minister announced that it was a little over $100. The missionary was excited. He hadn't expected such a large offering from our small church. He said, "You must have some rich people in this church." Suddenly it struck us. We had given $87 of that little over 100. We were the rich family in the church. Hadn't the missionary said so? From that day on, I've never been poor again. I've always remembered how rich I am because I have Jesus. Submitted by Richard. And there's no last name. I remember reading this story before. I didn't recognize the name, but after I read it, when I started reading it, I knew I'd read it before. I thought it was a really good story. So, of course, I'm going to give that story. What do you think, guys? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumbs up. Thumbs up for that one. Let's see. I think that was the best one we've read today so far. Waiting on the computer to get back to the page. It's a little slow. Now we'll read one more for today. Still in the trials section. This one got 0 votes. 0 thumbs up, so. But learning the hard way, it sounds interesting. Let's see if maybe we can give it at least 1 thumbs up. Nobody else has, so let's just see. Learning the hard way. The son of a master thief asked his father to teach him the secrets of the trade. The old thief agreed, and that night took his son to burglarize a large house. While the family was asleep, he silently led his young apprentice into a room that contained a clothes closet. The father told his son to go into the closet to pick out some clothes. When he did, his father quickly shut the door and locked him in. Then he went back outside, knocked loudly on the front door, thereby waking the family, and quickly slipped away before anyone saw him. Hours later, his son returned home, bedraggled and exhausted. "Father," he cried angrily, "why did you lock me in that closet? If I hadn't been made desperate by my fear of getting caught, I never would have escaped. It took all my ingenuity to get out." The old thief smiled. "Son, you have had your first lesson in the art of burglary." That just sounds cruel to me. Who would do that? I'm not going to give that one a thumbs up either. I'm going to agree with the other people and not give it a thumbs up. I don't know why. But I just think that's mean. Who would leave their child locked in a closet at a stranger's house to get in trouble? There's so many more stories on here, guys, but like I said, I promised you guys this video was getting long, so I won't read any more. Listen to this one. Oatmeal and Fire. Doesn't that sound weird? But I told you guys I wouldn't read any more stories for today, so I'm not going to read it. And it has 0 thumbs up too, so it's probably, I don't know. It might be a good one, but it might not be. It's got 0 thumbs up. But at least we had 1 or 2 stories today that were a thumbs up, guys, huh? So I want to say thank you guys for watching the video. Thank you guys for hanging in there for, it looks like almost 30 minutes. Wow. I need to congratulate you guys for that. Congratulations for hanging with me that long and listening to my stories. Even though most of them wasn't very funny. Ha ha ha. I tried to figure out my new webcam thing. Are you guys liking this? Or are you just like, wow, come on? Or maybe some of you just wanna, where'd it go? Maybe some of you guys just wanna, there it goes, knock me out so I won't read any more stories. Well, okay, I will go rambling on and I will let you guys go. You guys know I love you very much, and I hope you have a great rest of the day. It's almost 5 o'clock already, and I will see you guys later on tonight when I do tonight's Bible reading of Psalms and Proverbs. That'll probably be around, I don't know, guys. I might do it around between 6 and 8 o'clock tonight, unless I get bored and do it a little sooner. But I will have it posted on the I Love the Lord page. And again, if you have any prayer requests, you can post them on the group page, I Love the Lord. You could send them to my Facebook messages. You could send them to my YouTube message inbox. My YouTube message channel name is just Missy Crabtree. And if you don't want to do that and you wanted to send a prayer request to an email, my email address is missycrabtree@yahoo.com, all lowercase letters, and I can post the prayer request for you on a video if you would like it done that way. And I love you guys so much. I will see you all later. Let's bring those souls to Jesus, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.